our last episode of unboxing the Birmingham Museum. Each week for about 16 weeks now, we've been going to various storage areas here at the Birmingham Museum, taking down boxes and just seeing what's inside. So I decided to end this series where a lot of people's tours of the Birmingham Museum would begin, the lobby. And here we've been making some changes so that when we do open to the public again, fingers crossed, this video is coming out in about 3 weeks, so who knows? I'm an eternal optimist. But so that we can provide the best safety for both our staff, but also the people who will be coming in and visiting the museum again. So we do have a plexiglass barrier by the admissions desk, and we are actually going to make touch-free admission. So we're hoping that when we do open to the public, we'll be open on a reservation sort of system. So you'll reserve a time, you'll come in, we'll give you your tour the safest and most expedient way that we can. So really exciting changes happening here, and hopefully in another couple weeks you'll be able to visit the museum again. But stay tuned to our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram pages, and also our website. We'll have all the information there as soon as we know it. So we're here in the lobby, and in the lobby we have a lot of things. So over there we do have a cutout from one of the elm trees that used to sit on this property. Used to be elm trees all over the place, and then Dutch elm disease moved through in the early 2000s and basically decimated a bunch of our elms. We are in the process of replanting some resistant species out in our park, so hopefully in the next 100 years there will once again be giant elm trees in the park for people to sit under and enjoy the shade of. But we do have that in our lobby. I always like to try to teach kids how to read the rings or count the rings, you know, a little dendrochronology. But true facts, I always failed that component in my archaeology classes because I could not sit still long enough to count a couple hundred rings. It's just not something that I'm capable of. But if any third graders would like to come into the museum and show me how to do it, that would be fantastic. And right next to it we have our very own Waganakising. And what is a Waganakising, I hear you ask? That's a good question. If you had a second grader that have come through on tours in the last couple years, they might have come home and told you about it. I always tell the kids when they're in this room, if they remember one thing from our tour, to remember the word Waganakising, because it sounds really, really cool. And basically what a Waganakising is we call them marker trees in English, but the definition of a Waganakising in the Native American language is a talking tree. And these were trees that you used to find all up and down the Saginaw Trail. This is Leslie's book. She's written a book all about the Saginaw Trail. So if you really want to know more information about it from its beginnings, like over 10,000 years ago to the present, definitely let us know. We can ship you one. And so the Waganakisings were all up and down the Saginaw Trail, present-day Woodward Avenue. And the native peoples, when the trees were really young and pliable, they would bend them over and tie them off with a bit of string or rope. And they would grow in these really cool shapes. And these shapes would tell you which way the trail went, where was a good place to ford the river, was there a friendly village nearby where you could trade. And so archaeologists and anthropologists, they believe there used to be an entire language of these Waganakisings, which is sadly lost to us today, because as white settlers pushed into the frontier that was Michigan, a lot of the trees were cut down, the native peoples were pushed out, and sadly a lot of that knowledge is now lost to us. But a very talented artist by the name of Victor Pitko created that for us in our lobby, so we can tell just a little bit of that story today. And we do have Native American artifacts here in the lobby as well, Birmingham was situated along the Saginaw Trail, which Native peoples have been using for over 10,000 years. So we find goods that were being traded, you know, hunting things that people were using to hunt, and a whole bunch of really cool artifacts, which generations of people that lived in the area have come across when they're plowing their fields or, you know, cutting down old forests, that sort of thing. So that is really, really cool. And I'm standing in front of our gift shop. It's kind of in transition now, like a lot of things in the museum, as we decide what things we want to sell in our gift shop moving forward. But we do have, you know, a couple books that we're selling, like Leslie's book on the Saginaw Trail, Michigan in the Civil War, Parking for a Nickel by Jack Fawcett. Jack Fawcett worked for the city of Birmingham in the parking department for many decades. So his stories about how the department has changed, the people that he met, are just really awesome and fun. And then we also have some awards that we've won here at the museum. This is our latest. It's from 2018 from the Michigan Museums Association, or the MMA, and it's for outreach programming. And we got this for our 2018 exhibit, The People of Birmingham, 200 Years of Stories. And that was a crowdsourced exhibit, so many of you watching this worked with us towards that exhibit. So, you know, this is partly yours as well. So when we are open to the public again, come on in and view your award. And we also got one in 2014 for one of our other, it wasn't quite an exhibit, it was like an event. It was our experience with Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So that was really exciting, really fun. Unfortunately, it was before my time, so I did not get to work on it. And then, what else do we have here? Oh, we have some prints for sale of historic homes in Birmingham. Our John West Hunter anniversary album. You'll remember we found many, many boxes of these downstairs in the John West Hunter house. And I'm here to tell you, underneath here, we have many, many more boxes. So please come in. I will give you one. We have so many, so many. And these are usually locked. I unlocked them because I was down here, and because, you know, unlocking things is just not good television. So I decided to come down, unlock things, and let's see what's inside. Most of this is just overstock from our gift shop. Some of the things that we don't quite have on a display right now because we've been moving things around, but, you know, let's see. So we also have some CDs here. Birmingham, not so long ago. This is a documentary that was made in 1996 by the Birmingham Historical Society. So if you'd like to see, I mean, before and after, which is probably before, and then you'll have to supply your own after, because, I mean, things in Birmingham move fast, and there's always new buildings and things going up, so might be out of date. But, you know, hey, we got these. Really well produced, really well done. We have some more postcards that we have on display over there, but we have more if people want to buy them. If we ever have a huge demand for postcards, like, we can meet it. Let's see, we've got some more copies of Jack Fawcett's book. And down here, we have some things from previous exhibits. Sometimes there's a thunderstorm and families come in here to seek shelter from the rain and their kids are bored. So we have coloring pages, crayons, dominoes, some bouncy balls that were bought for our gift shop in like the 80s, so they're no longer bouncy, they're just kind of hard and sad. But I mean, they make really good projectiles, which parents don't like, but you know what? We have them. And we did have an exhibit for a while on trains, so we have a lot of if you want a Lionel movie on trains, we can supply that. We've got it. Only 3 left though, so hurry. We did have a lot more toys that we were selling. They weren't great sellers, so a lot of them now live in my office, because I don't know if you've been able to tell or not, but I cannot sit still, and if I'm sitting at a desk, I need something to fiddle with. So a lot of those toys now live with me in my office. And in this drawer, we have some more John Wes Hunter books and some books of Birmingham, which are, well, this is in plastic wrap, but these are great resources. This was published around the nation's bicentennial, so in the 70s, and it's all about Birmingham, the history of Birmingham, who owned what land when, who moved into what house when, all that sort of great stuff. So if you really love that level of detail, like, this is a great book. I mean, it is a little dated because it's from the 70s, but still really solid on like just facts about the founding of Birmingham and all that fun stuff. And so we have lots of these. Some people, again, kind of like with the John Wes Hunter book, they come into the museum, they found this, you know, in their mom's closet or something, and they're like, hey, you know, would you like this? Would you like me to donate this? And this is another one of those things where it's like, thank you very much, but up until recently we were still selling these in our gift shop. So, but thank you so much for thinking of us. You know, not many people do. So, but yeah, so if you're wondering, if you're sitting on like 10 of these and you're wondering if we would like some, the answer is a polite no thank you. We have plenty. And yeah, so it's a lot of the Book of Birmingham. A lot more postcards, some in pretty red ribbon. So if you would like to own some in pretty red ribbon, we've got these as well. Oh yeah, and I mean, talking about our trophies, we got a special legislative tribute last year from our very good friend, Representative Mari Manoogian. So a special friend of the museum, and you know, we like the fame, we like the publicity, you know. We hope it's well deserved. We like to think so. But yeah. And always, always, always in the lobby, one last thing. When we open again, or even now, if you would like a City of Birmingham calendar, please let us know. We will get you one. The City of Birmingham always gives us a giant box at the beginning of the year, and we try our hardest to give these out to everyone who passes by, but we're always left with so many. So please come and give one of these lovely calendars a new home. It would be much appreciated. Even though, I mean, like, it's July, it's halfway over, but I mean, look at what you can look at for August. And, you know, maybe what we'll have for August. I certainly hope so. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us for this, our last episode of Unboxing the Birmingham Museum. It's been a blast going through storage areas here at the Birmingham Museum and seeing what we have with you all. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day, and stay tuned for a new and exciting series that we are going to do the week after next. Bye.